Hello and welcome to Relaxing Yoga. So I've looked around a lot on the internet to find some good relaxing yoga videos, but most of them went too fast or did too many things at once. So we're just going to take it really easy and we're going to breathe very deeply the whole time. And this is all focused on trying to lower your stress. So we're going to try and do each of these poses with 3 deep breaths. So I'm going to show you an example and then we're going to start, okay? So during our poses and all the things we're going to do today, we're going to make sure that our back is nice and straight when we're sitting up, and we're going to make sure our legs are nice and straight when they're sticking out, and our arms. Okay, that's one thing we have to be careful of, because when we're doing our yoga poses, if my back is doing this, I might strain or hurt my back. So it's very important to keep our back straight. One other very important thing when we're doing these poses is that I'm not pushing myself too far. So for example, if we're stretching and we're supposed to be reaching our foot, if I do this and I just want to push myself a little bit farther, I might pull something in my leg because I was already feeling the stretch and then I pushed myself too far. So if this is far enough for you, it's important that you stop here and you just take some deep breaths here. So making sure you don't push yourself too far is very important here. You don't want anyone to get hurt. This is only about lowering our stress level. So now that we have that in mind, we're going to think about breathing, because that is the most important thing when we're trying to lower our stress. We can't force our heartbeat to go slower, but we can force our breathing to be slower. And then that helps everything else slow down so that we can de-stress and come down from whatever chaos that you had that day. So when we're breathing, you could breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, or in and out through your mouth. So the breathing is up to you. Just make sure that it's nice and deep. If you can, you're breathing from your stomach here. So my shoulders still go up and down. But if I put my hands on my stomach, I can feel my stomach going in and out just a little bit. And that's important too. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths in each of these poses, which is about 10 seconds, which is as long as you should be holding them. So let's start right now by just breathing and practicing our breathing. So the first thing is just going to be here, sitting up nice and tall, taking a deep breath in, letting the breath out. Good. So that's the first thing done. Easy. So we're going to do our shoulders next. And this will help you feel better as we do other poses by having them a little looser. So we're going to rotate our shoulders like this. So we're going to go up, back, and down, over like this. Don't forget to breathe. You should feel yourself and hear yourself breathing. Good. Now we're going to go the other way. So instead of rolling my shoulders forward, I'm rolling them back. Okay? Good. Good. The whole time you should be breathing really deep. It helps all the oxygen get to your muscles and it helps you loosen up a little bit. So now that we've done our shoulders a little bit, we're going to go all the way back up to our neck here. Okay, so we're stretching our neck by turning our chin to the side. So I'm not moving my shoulders, I'm just moving my chin. So my chin moves to the side as far as it goes. That's comfortable. So I can feel a stretch, but it's still comfortable. Good. And as my muscles relax, I might feel like I can move my chin even further, and that's good, as long as I'm not straining my neck and cranking it too hard. Perfect. Then I'm slowly moving my head back to center, and now I'm moving it to the other side. There we go. Good. Now I'm moving my head back to center. Good. Now I'm going to be dropping my ear to my shoulder. So this is the first step of learning this yoga, this relaxing yoga. So I'm just going to drop my ear as far as it goes. I can feel a little stretch here, and that's all I want. Just warming, relaxing my muscles. So I'm going to take a deep breath here while I'm making sure to imagine that my ear is being tugged just gently toward my shoulder. Bring my head all the way up again and back down on the other side, remembering to keep my back straight, my shoulders straight. I'm going to breathe in and out again. Good. Remember, this is just us warming up, so it's okay if you don't get too far. Good. Now what I'm going to do is bring my head back and then drop chin to chest here. So my chin goes down, I'm looking at my ankles, and I'm just slowly rocking my head back and forth. This might look different for everyone, so watch how I do it. Touching my chest. Good. And you're going to do what feels comfortable for you. So this feels comfortable for me. So now you try. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Good, and we'll do one more so that we're even on both sides. Good, very good. Now we'll bring our chin back up and then do a body check. So make sure that you're not feeling uncomfortable or too tense in any one spot in your shoulders or neck. And if you are, it's good to maybe just wiggle it out or just tilt your head from side to side gently. Make sure that you work that out. Now we're going to be working on our back and our sides. So we're going to put one hand on the opposite knee and the other hand behind us like this. Okay? So now I'm keeping everything straight, keeping my back straight, and I'm breathing in. On the exhale, I'm going to turn a little bit. So that means I'm turning my shoulders here this way, okay? When I turn, I might be bringing this hand even further back behind me. This is all your comfort level with the pose. Good, now we're gonna be switching. So now I'm turning everything forward and I'm switching. Now the other hand to the opposite knee, and this hand comes down. Good, I'm comfortable here. So now I'll take another deep breath. Good, very good. Bring it all the way back. Good. Now this time I'm putting my hand just down beside me here, and I'm going to be bringing this hand all the way up brings my arm all the way up over my head like this. So if you can only do this and your arm is pretty straight, then that's okay. But we want our whole spine to be following what we're doing here so that our side gets a workout. So I'm not stiff like this time. I'm turning like this, see? So what you can do is bend your arm if you're able to. This is only if it's comfortable for you. If that's too much, then you keep your arm straight. We're just gonna hang out here for 3 breaths. Perfect. Now the other side. So this hand comes up. Now I'm sitting up straight. Comes down on the other side. And as I breathe in, this arm comes up, and I breathe out, and I come down on this side. Again, if this is comfortable for you, you just keep your arm straight. If it's too easy, you might want to bend your arm to get you a little bit lower. Perfect. Now we're going to bring our arm up and down again, making sure we don't make any really sudden movements. Just nice and slow. Good. So now that we were doing our neck, our back, and our side, that was step 1. So we're going to keep working on this, and we're going to keep working on this. But let's stretch out our legs now, okay? So before we do any big poses, let's stretch. So that means I have one leg flat on the ground like this, and the other leg is bent as I can make it, and this foot is touching my thigh, okay? The important part about this pose is that I'm sitting up straight, because if I'm sitting like this, you can hurt your back. So make sure that you're sitting up straight. This is the first thing about this pose. So let's just start by taking 3 deep breaths here, sitting up straight. Now we're going to reach for our toe, but only with my back still straight. So that means that I'm pivoting on my hips here, like this. And I'm not pivoting anywhere up here, turning in. So my back is completely straight, and I'm just folding this way, okay? Now, I can't get very far either, so this is enough for me. Perfect. Now we're moving to the other side. So I collect this leg in and I stick this leg out. Remember, we're listening to our body and making sure we don't push anything too far. So now I'm breathing in and out, just sitting up straight like this. Okay, so I'm turning my body like this, and I'm just going to breathe in and out. Now I'm reaching for my foot again, but I won't get very far again, and you see how far you can get. So I have my foot up like this, so that my toes are pointed toward the ceiling, and my hand is out with my arm straight, and my back is straight. Okay, now I'm gonna start leaning in. Oh, that's as far as I get, because I can feel it all up here in my leg. So that's as far as I need to go for me personally. So it's just relaxing yoga to relax your body and your mind. While we're taking these really nice deep breaths, it's important that you're thinking about something very relaxing. Good. Oh, now that we reached as far as we could, we can put both our feet out. So this one is very hard, but we're gonna try. just by sitting up straight, because I don't think we're going to get very far in this one. So we'll just take 3 deep breaths. Good. I'm always trying my very best to be sitting up as straight as I can. Now we're going into what's called cat-cow. So that's where your knees here are shoulder width apart and they're underneath your hips. Then you're putting your hands down and your hands are going to be right under your shoulders. So you might need some time to adjust to make sure that it's the right place for you. Make sure that you feel comfortable. The goal of this tabletop position is to feel like if someone pushed you, you wouldn't just fall over, right? You're steady here with your arms locked and your legs. So our back is flat first. And when we do this one, when we breathe in and out, we're breathing in and out like this. So watch me first, and then we'll try together, okay? So in looks like this. So you see that my tummy dropped, and my hips are up, and my chin is up here, okay? This is inhale. Exhale looks like this. So do you see how that's different? Now it's the opposite. Now my tummy goes up, but my hips go down and my head goes down, okay? So we're gonna try that with 3 breaths after I get the hair out of my face. Okay, good. Perfect. So now let's try together, okay? Breathe in and out. So I'm holding it for a few seconds. Good, so that will count as 1. Now we'll do it again. Good. Perfect. 1 more. Good, very good. So because we might not be used to this, we're going to sit back on our legs and we're going to stretch our wrists, okay? Like this, maybe our fists are closed, maybe our hands are open. We're stretching because any of those red crease lines get very uncomfortable. So make sure that you stretch and that your wrists feel okay. Okay, so now what we're doing is the same position, but one leg gets kicked out, okay? So this here, I'm still in this position, but this leg is kicked out. And I'm going to be trying to push with my body back this way to try and get my foot flat on the ground. But it won't get flat on the ground, that's just my goal in my head, okay? So I'm going to push. So that it gets as close as I can. Some of us really like to rock in and out of this position, so it might look like this. As long as you're taking it slow, that's good. Good, and now the other leg, same thing, but the other leg. Kick it out, I slowly put pressure on my leg. And now my wrists aren't under my shoulder anymore because I've pushed so much that I'm not here anymore. I'm all the way back here. And that's important. Good. So now we'll come out of that. Well done. And we're going to stretch our wrists one more time. Okay? Just because that can be hard on your wrists, that position. Did you hear my bone crack? Okay, so what I like to do to get up from here is I like to curl my toes like this, if you can, under your feet like this, so I'm sitting on my toes. like this. So I sit on my toes and push with my hands to get myself up. Walk yourself up so that I can stand, right? So here I'm going to be on my feet, the flats of my feet, but my legs are bent. And maybe my arms are hanging, dangling like this. You can put your arms together, touch your elbows, and you can drop your head and swing, or you can just let your arms dangle, and we're going to slowly curl ourselves up to stand. We're going to slowly lift ourselves up. I like to hang my arms, and I like to just breathe deeply, let everything go. Good. So now the first thing I'm going to do is mountain pose. And I don't really name any other yoga poses because I don't like this to have lots of yoga lingo in it, but this has become quite a popular pose for us, so mountain pose. That means our hands are together, our thumbs are together, and our thumbs are pressing against our chest to try and feel for our heartbeat or our breathing, or both, as we breathe in and out very deeply, okay? Good. So this signifies that we're almost done, almost. Before we get into our warrior poses, which means we're basically done, we're going to stretch for them first. So the first thing we're going to do is stretch up, straight up. So I'm going to let my arms come up and reach as high as I can. And my arms are around my ears, almost like they're earmuffs. Maybe my head is tilted back, maybe not. And I'm letting my arms come back down. Then I come up again. Maybe I'm on my tiptoes. Good. One more time. Big, deep breath. Very good. And then one last stretch before we do warrior. So then that's one hand on my hip, and the other hand is going to come up as I inhale. And then it's going to come over. So my side is curling in to try and stretch my side. I might come up to breathe. But then I always come back down. If you're only part way down, that's okay. You do what's right for your body. Now I'm breathing out. And I'm breathing in, bringing the other hand up. Perfect. Now we're ready for warrior. Good. So I like to stick my left foot out front first. So my left foot goes first. My right foot is behind me. And I'm bending my first leg, keeping my second leg straight. So I'm bending my first leg to make sure my knee falls over my ankle. If this is too wide and it's becoming too hard, I think it will be difficult. You don't want it to be hard. You're trying to just relax, just stretch your muscles. So bring your legs closer until you feel good. This feels good? Great. So let's get started. So I breathe in and my hands come up. Good. This time notice my arms didn't come down on the exhale. They're going to stay up for 3 breaths, and I'm going to try and keep this pose. Good. Now my arms come down, and my arms aren't coming down this way because now I'll be all twisted like a pretzel. They're coming down this way, so my chest is open, okay? So they're out as straight as they can, and my front hand turns up. That was warrior 2. Now we're letting this hand drop back. This hand's gonna come up, and this is called dancing warrior. So as far back as you can go. If you wanna really brace yourself with your back arm and let yourself go back, you can, but that might be too much. So you just do what's right for you. Good. Now we're going to switch. Do all the same things, but switch. So now my right foot is first, my left foot is back, making sure that I'm steady. My right foot is pointing forward, and my left foot is pointing out to the side, because I don't want to walk a tightrope. I'm trying to be steady, balanced. I bend just a little bit. This is not too much of a stretch. So now I'm going to bring my arms up again. Good for the first pose. Perfect. And my arms come down. I try and make sure that they're straight by looking forward and looking back. They look pretty good. So then my front hand comes up like this. Come here. Perfect. Back arm goes down, this arm goes up, just like the last time. Great. Now everything comes back. If I think it might be hard to stand up straight again, I just bring the front foot in, the back foot in, the front foot in, the back foot in. Whew, until I feel loose enough. Now we're just going to do our last mountain pose and we're finished. Okay, so my feet are more than shoulder width apart, maybe, if that's comfortable for you, or shoulder width apart. Then my hands come together again, sensing my breath. Good. This is a good time to really focus on, have you let everything go that you can? One more deep breath. Good, and we're finished. Good, perfect. So that was our yoga explanation of the first phase. Thank you so much for doing the yoga, and I hope that it helps you. I hope you can conquer the rest of your day.